Hello, 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 Simon. What's going on, man? Simon, did you just say something about Sharks Etoge jersey? What the heck are you going on about, man? Anyway, good evening. It's Blues against Moana Pasifika from Eden Park. Second time these guys are playing each other in 7 days, or even less than that. But yeah, should be a pretty good game. My missus has got the kids in the other room, getting them prepped for bed, so excuse the screaming and whatnot. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Blowman says can't wait for the rematch. Indeed. Nice food takeaways. Let's go Blues. They didn't they play on Tuesday, Kai? Yes, they did. That was one of the makeup games because Moana Pacifica started the season late with COVID cases. So, yeah, they're playing each other again, back to back. Alaran is here, mate. I was tempted to crack open a bottle of wine, but I'm still on the beers, man. I do have a bottle, which I've actually already opened, floating around. Sinead, mate, good evening. Wait, the Blues are doing a haka. Okay. Did they do this on Tuesday? I caught the start of the game late on Tuesday, so I missed it if it's... Oh, April 1st, Simon, bro. You're a day late for that stuff, what? Nothing like a good red. You are correct, Alaran, actually. I hadn't had any wine for a while, so I had a couple of glasses with dinner the other night, and it hit me like that Vailima usually does. No, they didn't do it on Tuesday? Okay, interesting that they're doing it today. The commentators were just saying they reckon there's 10,000 people there. But it never looks like it at Eden Park. It never looks like a good crowd. Because 10,000 in a 50,000 seater just looks rubbish, doesn't it? How many jerseys does Moana Pasifika have here? This is their third one, eh? Yeah. They've had a blue one, their light blue one, which is their home one. This white one's their away one, and then they had like some special jersey, which was their red and blue one. So yes. Sammy, mate, how's it going? Apparently, Eden Park was doing, if you bought an adult ticket, you could take up to like 4 kids for free in the general admission, so at 2 ends. So I guess they're hoping for a good crowd, but yeah. Alaran's picking 2 tries to Caleb. He could have a big game. Nothing looks as bad as the stadium in Wellington. Yeah, that's probably fair, mate. That stadium was not made for rugby, unfortunately. Still deciding if I want to go to the Chiefs versus Blues game next weekend, Novmum. Because of the disappointments at the Crusaders game. Yeah. Victoria, good morning. You're up and about. Probably haven't had breakfast yet. In France. Anyway. Got cables everywhere. Remind me not to move too much. Got my camera, my microphone, Ethernet cable, which is running over there. And my headphones are plugged into the computer. If things go crashing down, this could be an entertaining end to the stream. We'll see. Pre-sold over 10,000, they reckon. Okay, fair enough. Imagine playing 2 games back to back like this. It is unusual. It's a special situation. Just had kickoff, folks. I'll let you know when we're at 10 seconds, and that is right about now. 10 seconds in. Blues against Moana Pasifika. And Victoria's not actually up and about. Fair enough. You're awake, if nothing else. And yeah, cheers to Gareth, says Hollywood. Poor Gareth, man. That's still taking a while to sink in. The Force and Rebels blow me. Yeah, they're not playing because they got the bye. I think the Waratahs and one of the other Aussie teams have got a bye next week as well. The Kiwi teams have kind of already had byes with COVID cases, so I think it's only the Chiefs. Did they have? No, they had a week off as well. The second week. Bro, here come the Moana guys early. Ominous. Gaspar, mate, how is it going? About 45 seconds behind Sky. That's all good. Crazy, mate, how's it going? Jules is getting out of bed time. Yeah, getting out of bedtime duty. I was reading that wrong. Yes, bedtime duty is with my missus. But I think I pulled my weight throughout the day, so I've earned a bit of rugby time. What can I say? It's teamwork. Man, Moana Pasifika have started this game well. They got advantage well. They'll get at least 3 out of this. Stowers going for a carry, and Christie got him. Good man. They're just keeping this ball alive. Surely they score. Another offside. Carl, mate, how's it going, bro? We are 20 seconds into the second minute, which is a long way of saying it's 2 minutes and 20 seconds, now 25. What do? Are they up for the 3? Chris, man, how's it, bro? Going good. Simon's in as well. Looks like it's going to be very interesting. Second Auckland derby tonight. Yeah, man. Good start for the Moana Pasifika boys. Big says Saracens won. Yeah, I watched that game, actually. That was a low-scoring affair, that one. Yeah, a bit of an arm wrestle. I did see that one. My kids were behaving remarkably well, so because they were playing peacefully without fighting for like a couple of hours, I watched the Dragons and Sharks game from South Africa, and I watched Saracens against blah, 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 blah. Who the hell did they play? Not Exeter. Bro, it's totally... Who'd they play? You know you watch too much rugby when you've watched the whole game and can't even remember who they played. I have to go to my notes. Had a total brain... Sail. There we go. You guys beat me to it. Morning, Kakana, man. My brain is not operating at optimal efficiency. But yes, I watched Sail and Saracens this morning. But I watched it fast. I skip all the nonsense because I was watching it on demand. So, you know, whenever they set for a scrum, skip 20 seconds. Set for a line out, skip 20 seconds. I'll update the score in a second because it is 3-0 to Moana Pasifika. Is that breakfast stout? I wish. Come on, computer, you can do it. There we go. 3 points up. This is Tui, which is like the cheapest standard Kiwi beer you can get. Actually, it's not the cheapest, but it's among the most standard anyway. But it does come with trivia under each bottle cap. So, there you go. Trivia. Big game on later this evening here. Munster against Leinster. Yeah, man. That's going to be a big one. I'll have to see if I can catch that one tomorrow my time. Probably also on demand. What's the question? I'll read it out in just a tick, I guess. We usually wait till half time, but I'll see how this game goes. The intensity's still been pretty high. If things start to really slow down, then we can go straight to the trivia question. Yeah, the Blues haven't had any ball. Nov mum's kids are in their bedrooms. They spend most of their lives in their bedrooms. Yeah, my kids were... oh man, the Blues have been pinged again. It's going to be 6-0. My kids were playing happily without fighting for hours this morning, which was my point earlier. So I had freedom to watch games. Like, if they want to play, I don't not play with them just so I can watch rugby. Unless it's this game, in which case I watch rugby. Should bang heads with Kiwi lads or who? BKR Sport. Good yarns. Yeah, I haven't done much collab stuff, eh? I'm a bit slack on that, but I should. Most I did was with G-Man. I think I did 3 or 4 with him. Did a couple with Rugby Analyst. And I've been on other people's channels. I was on Unbiased Rugby's channel back in the day. And Yellow Cap Sports, who also passed away, actually. I was on his channel a couple of years ago. 6-0, folks. The Blues just haven't had any ball. This is brutal. Early days, early days, early days. Early days. Early days. Early days. Early. Still early. Yep, still early. Despite your brain not working at full capacity, do you want to hear something interesting about about an Irish connection with New Zealand that not many know about? Go on, Kakana, mate. Let me know. If it's that the Barretts are connected to Ireland, we know. If it's that Carberry is connected, oh, it's another penalty. Another collab with legendary chainsaw guy. Yeah, that wasn't planned. I don't know what on earth he was doing. I should have just waited. I assumed he was going to be here for like, I don't know, the better part of a couple of hours, but he was only there for like 20 minutes. So I probably should have just waited, but anyway. Is this the day for you to experience the loss to Moana 2? Starleo, no. No, it's not. It's definitely not. This is the day for me to sit here and say it's still early as we're 8 minutes into this game. Moana Pasifika are 6-0 up, but the Blues are still warming up. Ferguson Warner off to Worcester, not Gloucester. Don't know much about them. Worcester are pretty bad, Jules. They're a relegation threatened team most years. They're kind of around the foot of the table. But they have signed a couple of good players in recent years, so when they're on, all their players are playing, they're actually okay. But the Premiership's a pretty tight league, but yeah, he's certainly signed for one of the bottom teams. Unfortunately for him, but I'm sure he's happy to be getting a good paycheck. Sorry to see him leave Aussie Rugby. I feel like he's the big old missed opportunity. Uh-oh. Loose ball, but it's a penalty for the Blues. Chainsaw Guy is my favorite cameo character in the 2 Cents Cinematic Universe. We used to have the bin guys, and we had the neighbors with the weed whackers, but that's it so far. First of all, to test your knowledge, have you heard of a former explorer named William Hobson? Sounds familiar. We have some Hobson spots around Auckland, so yes, I'm sure I have. Newcastle, RIP them. Yeah, Newcastle, God, they haven't had a win in a long time. Not in the Premiership. They won the Cup game the other day, but man, their losing streak. I mean, they're better than Zebra in the URC, but it's pretty horrendous at the moment. What is happening to the Blues? They're still settling in. Hanley, still settling in. 10 minutes is when they really start to play. Victoria, my clock is at 10:50 right about now. 10:50. Stephen Pettiford is lining up a shot at goal. And sorry to trick you, Sinead, Chainsaw Guy was not a fellow YouTuber for a collaboration. Right, the Blues have hit back, so it's only a 3-point game now. Right, let's update the score. Dum, 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 dum. There we go. Basically, he was a former British Royal Navy officer who was New Zealand's first governor and established an independent in the 1800s. Maybe it's his house that's on one of the islands in the Hauraki Gulf. There's one of the islands that's got an old house on it. I haven't been there, but I heard about it. I think it's probably his house. It's like a big old manor house on one of the islands. LB, we spend all season settling in. Bro, don't do my Blues like that. He was born in Ireland, and while he was the governor, he had the island named after the provinces. What? How do you mean? Seven-game winning run at Eden Park, LB, the commentators have just said. So at least we win at home, if nothing else. Or when was the last time we played the Crusaders at Eden Park? I bet you we lost that one. Is this the strongest Blues team, Hanley? We're without a few players, especially in the locks, but yeah, we're... one of our guys is suspended, but yeah, it's a pretty strong Blues lineup for sure. The hardest part picking these minor draw games, you just don't know how close or blowout the game is going to be. Yeah, I didn't pick the Waratahs smashing the Drua like they did yesterday, but the Drua didn't do themselves any favours with those cards, eh? If he had stayed, the North Island would have been New Leinster, the South Island would have been New Munster, Stewart Island would have been called New Ulster. Weird, right? Well, where's New Connacht? The what are those? The Chatham Islands. Can't imagine that. But to be fair, North Island, South Island's kind of boring, but it's straightforward. Yeah. New Zealand is a bit of a bizarre name, given that it's a place in the Netherlands. Yeah, but I guess we were discovered by a Dutchman from a European point of view, even though there were people already here. There's been talk about it here, actually. Some people want to change New Zealand to being called Aotearoa, because it's what the Māori name for New Zealand is. But I think that's one of those ones, even if you change it, people are still going to call you New Zealand. I mean, I always use the example of Ivory Coast. I don't think you're officially supposed to say Ivory Coast. You're supposed to say Côte d'Ivoire. But who says that in conversation? If you were talking to someone, would you say Ivory Coast? Probably. Zebra need to get some under-20s from the Italian side, or should we be telling the 20s finally gotten a positive record? Yeah. Under-20s is always a tricky one to look at, and this game has still not really got 100% flying yet, just FYI, as we hit 15 minutes. Like, I look at under-20 sides from recent years, and you can pick out, like, maybe there's usually, like, one or two guys who did really well, and then a couple of guys who ended up playing super level or whatever. And then maybe a couple of other guys who you've vaguely heard of. A lot of the guys don't make it, eh? It's a big step up from under 20s to full on, you know, senior men's. And part of it's time. Guys end up just doing other things as well. If they don't immediately make it, they just go to uni or get a job. Craig's going back to Kiwiland for your holidays. Good man. Junaid says to watch up, so something is up. It's the Blues that have got the ball, so that sounds promising. That pass looked maybe forward. They got to check that one, surely. Sam Derry. That's going to be try time. Wow, try time Blues. But I wouldn't mind checking one of those passes just one more time. Effectively, Mark, I wouldn't have been too keen to sub to you because you'd have been wearing a certain type of blue. I did not like... Oh. Fortunately, we're just the North Island. TMO checks his L around. I'm not surprised because my first viewing of that pass looked a wee bit dodgy. Where's my red pen? Oh, I'm holding it. I haven't got the TMO yet on my one. Pettiford is lining up the shot. No TMO check. No TMO check. Still no TMO check. Still no TMO. Still no TMO. Happy days. Must have been all good. You guys were yanking my chain. Hey, happy days. 10-6. I honestly think they should have. They must have looked at it in the back end, right? They always look at that stuff in the back end. It's also expensive to change your name. You got to get maps changed. Legal stuff needs to change. Whole tourism stuff changed. Yeah, LB, actually, you're right. I think I mentioned this once before on a stream. Maybe this came up. But the uni I worked for changed one of the departments, one of the faculties, to Faculty of Education and Social Work from Faculty of Education, and everything had to change. A ridiculous number of things that you don't even think of had to change, and it cost them a lot of money just to add social work on there so people could, you know, feel good in case you were studying social work instead of like a teaching degree. But there you go. Just like that, the Blues are in front. Happy days. Well, thank goodness I don't have to wear white, kicking a man, because white is easy to get dirty. Blue's not as bad. Turnovers from Moana Pasifika. Oh, here's trouble. Bryce Heem. They picked their pocket on that one. Come on, boys. Quick ball. Let's go. No look past the big Caleb. Of course, he beats his first tackler. There we go. Oh, Moana's line's holding pretty well. Ooh. Starting to turn the screws. How many phases is that? 6 phases? 7 phases? Defense is still holding. Christie's been good, eh? He certainly added value for us in the last game. When he came off the bench, he's starting this week. All black, of course. Feta inside ball to big Caleb. Nice, that was well worked. That was proper well worked. And yes, Junaid, the old boy is going to send us a message at halftime. He is indeed. Happy days, Blues. Getting us on the board. That was a proper well worked try. Narrowed the Moana Pasifika defense. All starts from that Heem intercept, eh? They're just replaying it now. That scene feels like ages ago now. That Perifeta pass to Clark is stuff of gold, eh? It is starting to look ominous. Who put 13 plus on the Blues at the TAB before this game? Eh? I did not, unfortunately. Will Christie have to wait until after 2020 to get more game time? I reckon the ABs maybe need to choose between Weber and TJ. Because those guys are all getting on. But I guess the World Cup's next year, so you might be right. After the World Cup's not too far away. Alaran's got one of his 2 tries for Caleb Clark. True. I hope you put some couple of bucks on that one. Well, it's looking good so far. Conversion is going to hit the post. In off. In off. When you got your luck, you got your luck. 17 points to 6. Those first 10 minutes were looking a bit hairy, but after 20, we're looking pretty tidy. Happy with the second 10 and the first. No, but I only learned when I was about 18 that the name on my birth certificate did not end in an E. You'd always spelt your name ending with an E. What? That's disconcerting. Victoria's got a note from the post. Hopefully at halftime you're picking up your first pair of boots. Nice. My son wants new boots because, of course, his stupid feet have grown since last season, so I'll probably have to buy him another pair of boots for the new season. I think you can trade them in with other parents, though. Maybe I'll look into doing that. But I think because he's only played one season, most parents probably buy their kids their first pair. I don't know. Don't know. You only play for however many weeks the season is, and then that feet keep growing. Don't know. Moana's not making up this one. Oh, making the one-up hits, Simon. Yeah. Over those phases, it was kind of slowly falling off, eh? Fakatava and Christie, the first and second halfback duo after the World Cup. That's interesting, eh? That might be right. How long can Smith keep going, eh? And to be fair, Fakatava added some real good speed when he came off the bench yesterday. So, I shouldn't say stupid feet, Simon. I should say expensive feet. I mean, to be fair, it's not that bad. At my son's age, you don't even have to wear rugby boots. You can just wear soccer boots, which are way cheaper. They don't care. You're only playing ripper, like the tags rugby anyway. So, yeah. And my missus works for the company that owns Rebel Sports, so she gets a discount anyway. But, no, it's like 20% off still. Anyway. Future Hall picks the feet. My son needs to get faster if he wants to be an All Black. I've been practicing his skills with him in the off season. I trick him into doing drills that he doesn't know he's doing. But he bought like a really bouncy ball recently, like I don't know, that big, and it bounces really high. So I'll bounce it to him and get him to take like high balls. He doesn't even know that he's doing rugby practice, but I mean it's not the right shape obviously, but he's still taking high balls. He's having to judge like, come forward, go back, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he's doing rugby drills without knowing he's doing rugby drills, but he needs to run faster. He's pretty slow. He doesn't have the best technique. Yeah. I think last year, how many kids were on his team? 12 maybe? I have to look at his team picture. Maybe 15. He would have been kind of bottom 4 or 5 for speed. His skills are alright for a 6-year-old, 5-year-old when he started. Like, he can pass, he can catch. But he can rip the tags, but it's just the speed, eh? He's going to be a forward, I think. Maybe, I don't know. Sharks had a good time. I watched that one, Johan, mate. That was a proper hiding. That was a proper hiding. Only 2 tries in the first. A couple of penalty tries, eh? Victoria's feet are small enough to fit in some of the large youth sizes. Well, that's good. Definitely save that money. Sneaky rugby practice. Yeah, well, if you tell him you're doing sports drills, it sounds boring, right? But, yeah. He just likes playing with that new ball and getting to bounce it like crazy. Maybe a proper lock. He's not real big enough for a lock yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Sprinting can be tough to learn. Yeah, he doesn't, like some kids naturally run. Just like, you know, I don't want to say Olympic sprinters because I'm not a running coach. I don't know. But their running style just looks right. Like proper running. And some kids still run like kids. My son's still in the very much like he runs like a little kid. You know what I mean? Like he sometimes like kind of doesn't lift his knees up high enough, but it's like I don't really want to make him go too hardcore into his running. I guess I could sign him up for athletics, but yeah, as long as he's having fun, I don't really care too much. I'll just keep doing my sneaky drills with him when I can. Mini Cents will be a flanker like his granddad. Maybe. As long as he's quick enough to get to the breakdown, that's all that matters. All that high ball practice will be for nothing. Although I guess Dwayne Vermeulen takes a fair few high balls, so there can be some call for it. "28 minutes for those of you checking. Sonship be playing with the neighbours. There's not a lot. Like we live down a kind of long driveway, and we sometimes see kids riding their bikes around here. But none of my immediate neighbours have kids, which is kind of unfortunate. Mate, taught a lot of lower primary, and some of the kids just have natural form. They play quite hard, and their body figures out a pretty good way to go fast. Needs time to develop. Yeah, exactly. He just needs to keep running, basically. If he can chuck the ball straight, he could be a hooker. Wait till he's still playing ripper rugby. We'll see how he go once he gets the tackle. When he gets the tackle, he might be like, "Dad, I want to play soccer." I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. James got home to Dublin last night. Been drinking on the train down to Munster today. Nice. Sounds like you're ready for the weekend, mate. I'm already a few hours ahead of you. Junaid says to watch out. Uh-oh. It's Moana Pasifika hot on the attack. Here's trouble. Oh, man. Try time. Game is still on. Just when the Blues were starting to look comfortable. Alacio. Out of nowhere, Mills. Run towards the ref. That's always smart. And then just pick and go. Final pass is kind of flat. TMO wants to have a look at the last pass. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a try. To the refs, if they're going to give that Blues one without checking it, they might as well not check this one. I'm happy. I'm happy that's same. But if I was Christian, I'd be taking this quick kick a bit faster than he is. Boom far. 17 points to 13. Happy days. Close game. Boom far. There we go. Aileron's first thought was forward. I was the same with both of the tries, to be honest, but I will choose to have faith in the system that they checked it while they were getting the conversion ready. So, yes. Imagine if they had the TMO from the Drua game yesterday. Man, if you guys didn't see that one, in the Fijian Drua against the Waratahs game yesterday, there were 3 incidents, all stopped by the TMO for the ref to have a look at, and all 3 were dismissed by the ref within like 10 or 15 minutes. The TMO was just very overzealous, and the ref, whilst not having a bar of it, still had to go through the process, which just slowed things right down, which is not ideal. That TMO was a shocker, Aileron. You are not kidding. Like, he's the new Ben Skeen. I think Ben Skeen must have retired. We don't see Ben Skeen anymore. He's the guy who used to grind my gears because he was similarly minded, that he would just seemingly want to get involved into bloody everything. Blues have got advantage. Here we go. Let's extend that lead. What do you do here if you're the Blues? Go for touch. Come on. Go for touch. Go for touch. Go for touch. Go for touch. Hey, they're going for touch. Happy days. As our teams are missing beat by not being involved in Super Rugby Pacific, we're missing on a quality opposition, and I miss the early morning games, Christopher. It's going to be interesting because the majority of the teams who have been in South Africa at the moment have been not either the best ones on the log or not at full strength. I'm very keen to see some of the top teams at more full strength head to South Africa, because right now we're just seeing hidings every week, Edinburgh being the exception. They went for touch and they get the reward. The Blues, as I jump from topic to topic, the Blues in this game have just scored a try through Kurt Eklund. More time. This will be the one the TMO looks at, because we've had 2 dodgy ones that didn't even get a look. Sure, the TMO can find something. Come on. What are they paying him for? Did I see the Sharks beating the Dragons? I saw the game. I didn't know it would be by that much. But 2 of those tries were penalty tries. The Dragons had like 13 guys on the field at one point. I mean, that's not to take anything away from the Sharks, but man, that was a hiding and a half. Is he going to get this? He'll get it. He's going to get it. Definitely. 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 Why don't I do a power rankings for the URC, James? Too many of the games were getting cancelled. Oh, he's missed that one, for goodness sake. That was one of his easier ones. Yeah, too many of the games were getting cancelled, so it was kind of getting out of whack. Back when Omicron first came out, remember? But I could potentially rework them and fill in the lost data. I'm just not looking forward to doing it because it's a bunch of games that I need to figure out which results to input and when. So I will probably get back to it because I love doing the power rankings. It's just that initial job of re-inputting all the data. Oh, Petafita's just dropped it from the kickoff. Can you see the Warriors making a comeback to Super Rugby? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance. Unfortunately, New Zealand and Australia are hell-bent on it being this region, which makes sense. Like, I can understand it. I mean, you guys know I miss seeing the South African teams play the New Zealand teams as much as anybody, but if they're going for this is the region, then they need to stick to that. So, unfortunately for the Warriors, that leaves them out in the cold, playing in... all their good players are playing in Europe or Japan or Australia or whatever, and actually I don't know if any are in Japan, but yeah, they've got a team in that South American league, but it's very much their second string guys. Who do you think will win today between the Bulls and Ulster? I think I picked the Bulls, but not by a lot. Take that for what it's worth. My picking in the URC has not been fantastic. Well, Petafita has kind of cost us 5 points now because he missed the pretty straightforward conversion and then dropped the kickoff. So that gave away the penalty, essentially, a few phases later. So, yes, not happy chappy with that one. Not happy, Jan. (22-16). I shall update the score. Scoreboard's ticking along, isn't it? The Drew at 9 last night just wanted to get a card. Lamani, he just kept doing high tackles. The ref even said to him, stop doing high tackles. You're going to get a card. He got a card, a yellow, literally, for his third high tackle. The ref's like, I warned you. It was bizarre. How are you a halfback and getting so many high tackles? Blues have got one more chance before half-time. They've just won a penalty. What do? Maul again or posts? Go for touch. 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 Hey, going for touch. Going for touch. You get 3, we'll get 5. Good score for the first half, Leeway. Yeah, not bad, man. That's some full-time scores are like that, eh? Where the Ioane brothers, Rico is on All Blacks rest. They have to give the All Blacks guys a wee break. And Akira is injured, I think a foot injury. So, yeah. Here we go. Segna in the air. More time. Come on, Blues. Nah, not this time. Oh, there's advantage for the Blues. He came around the side. Here we go. White ball. No. Bryce Heem. With the little gallop. With the gallop. Bro. As long as it wasn't the Peter Gus Sowakula like hurdle, that gallop should be fine. Because you can't jump over people. Let's have another look. Yeah, he just slipped. That's fine. That's not jumping a tackle. That's just stepping over somebody on the ground. Heads up play. Happy days. Illegal, says Elleron. No, don't you go there. Don't you. Don't. It's 29 for the Blues. 29-16 halftime score. This headset is getting hot on my ears, and we will soon see if my father has sent us a halftime match report. My kids are fighting, which makes sense because they've been kind of shitty with each other this afternoon. There you go, my daughter's having a go. Before my dad sends us the halftime report, let's do the trivia. I don't think this one is sports related, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Yes. So, remember, no Googling. Just chuck in an answer. Whatever you think it is. Just type as fast as you can. Take a guess. Even if you're madly wrong, you're going to be fast enough to potentially get it right. So, question is, how many brains does an octopus have? How many brains does an octopus have? There you go. For you marine biologists, how many brains does an octopus have? Sinead says 20, which is incorrect. Alaran 8, incorrect. Victoria 4, incorrect. 3, 4, 7, 3, 8, all incorrect. Patrick incorrect, but then Fried Fries gets it with 1. Seems it like was a trick question. Just the 1 brain for an octopus. There you go, folks. Was it Googled or was it just a good guess? We'll never know. But well done, Mr. Fries. Trick question. Just the 1 brain. I'm still waiting on Gaz's halftime match report. I did tell him to send one. Good question is maybe also a bit of predictive trivia. How many minutes will Gaz send if he does send me some messages? It's going to be at least 3 minutes. Because the app we're using allows 1 minute voice messages. And he usually sends 3, 4, 5. It will be an interesting one. So, yes. There you go. 3, 5. Alaran reckons 10. Alaran's going for gold. Well, while we're waiting for that, I'll check the match stats. It'll be 0 if he forgets. But we'll forgive him if he forgets. Because, he's in his 70s. He's got things going on. So, yes. Let's have a look at some halftime match stats. Okay, possession is 50-50. Clean breaks is 3-1. I'm keen to see. Oh! First message has arrived. So we'll start the minutes counting game. It is the first message is 60 seconds. He's used the whole allotment of 60. So we'll see. Tackling percentage for Moana Pasifika is not great. The Blues are at 90. Moana Pasifika is at 76. Right, I'm going to leave you with Gaza for a second while I run off to grab a beer. Bro, Sinead, his chair. My mum didn't really do it justice. The $300 chair is more like the size of something you would see, not quite a park bench, but that style. So it's long. It's a rectangle. It's not a single seater. It's at least a 2-seater. It wouldn't be like a 3 or 4-seater like a park bench. And then it can like open up. Like it's all wood. It's like a park bench, and it can open up to like put your crap on the inside. So yeah, it's pretty flash actually. It's pretty flash. Right. And Alara makes a good point. When does Gaza start to talk about the ref? Is it within message number 1? He's already sent a second message, so we're at 2 messages. Or message number 2. I'm going to start us going, and I'm going to go grab a beer.
Yeah, g'day McMurray. Well, the Blues are certainly in control of the game, Dolman, not bad. Not great, not bad. Better than O'Keefe and Pickerel, and maybe Williams. By a hair's breadth, he's doing okay. Moana Pasifika, brave. You need to use their backs a bit more to score some tries. They got the backs there, you got to use them. Their forwards, okay. Blues, yeah, good. Front and back. Forwards going well, backs going well. What I expected. How much they going to win by? Well, comfortably. Not a bad crowd. Dawn said just over 10,000, so that's a good crowd for Eden Park for this game. We're not going to really see how good the Blues are until they play the Chiefs and the Crusaders. Because I have a bit of a feeling there's maybe a bit of a false lull in security of how they're playing. A few rugby scribes have said how good are they really? Better than last year? No, I don't think so. Not at this stage. But not far off. They're close. Have they got the players to go all the way? Probably not. They'll definitely make the semis. Will they win it? Hard to say at this stage. I think probably not. Are they capable? Definitely. So we will see how it goes from there. That's my thoughts on that. Moana Pasifika, how many games are they going to win? Probably not many. They may win a few in Australia. Fiji and Drew, well, they got a hiding from the Waratahs. They can play a couple of good consistent games, but when they start getting into the longevity of a competition, they struggle, particularly in the forwards. Their backs are good, but they struggle in the forwards. The Rugby's Reds, could go either way. Western Force Rebels, that could go either way because the Rebels have hit form. Who knows? We'll see. New Zealand teams go to Australia. Well, I think we'll do all right. I think we'll win the good majority part of our games. We won't win everything, but we'll win a lot more than what we'll lose because I still think our rugby is quite a bit stronger than theirs.
I'll just pause for a second because I see Big Will's jumped on. Says, kia ora 2 cents. Let's have a beer for our good mate Gareth G-Man Mason. Rest in peace, love G-Man. Absolutely, Big Will, man. Yep. If you guys didn't hear the news, the G-Man. I'm still not sure what happened to him. I've heard kind of mixed reports, but either way. He passed away at like 30 years old, which is bonkers crazy young. So certainly he's a guy worth lifting whatever glass drink bottle you've got to farewell. So yeah, cheers to the old G-Man. Cheers, Big Will. And I'll resume Gazza. Gazza's got 1 more minute. And you guys are right. He took like 5 seconds to get onto the ref. So yeah, Gazza, eh?
Yeah, last but not least, the disjointed Crusaders were lucky to beat the Highlanders. Highlanders played really well. They're playing. Their wins are, like I said last night, not far away. Crusaders, I thought they looked a bit tired last night, but they still won. So we will see where that happens and what happens next there. So I really need to see this blue team step up against the Chief and the Crusaders, and then we will have a really good sense of actually where they are. Eventually, will they go a long way in the competition? I think they'll do all right. Okay. But I don't think they'll go all the way. Do I think the Chiefs can? Absolutely. Do I think the Crusaders can? Definitely. I still think they're the 2 top teams in New Zealand rugby. Okay, won't bore you anymore. Gasolmania, Roger, Radio, over and out. Love you guys heaps.
Who we lost? Oh, it's here. Yeah, cheers, Gaza. Hopefully the Blues can get the job done over the bloody Crusaders this year, but I'm not holding my breath. At least we should be able to get the result in this one. So, we'll take it week by week, eh? But yeah, Gazmania. Man, he loves talking about the refs. But anyway, at least he wasn't too critical. Still not rating the Blues too highly, interestingly. Yeah. How many messages was that? Oh, it was 4 messages, Junaid, if you were guessing. 4 messages. So he kept it kind of in the middle ground. Yes, 4 messages. So that's about right. Kind of in the middle. Yeah. Someone said something about my live status not even showing. I don't even know what that means. I just schedule the live stream and then I turn it on. Open minded, mate. G'day. How's it going? Yeah, things are going good here. Blues are in the lead fairly comfortably. Victoria's off to the post office to get those boots. Hard to gauge where the Blues are at the moment. Moana Pasifika have been impressive so far this year. Certainly, man. I mean, after that Chiefs game, it was looking a bit hairy, but they've been alright, which is good. Yes. Where's Aaron Major? I think they've all got COVID, man. I think they've got COVID. New Zealand's still pretty strict on the old COVID stuff. If you test, you have to isolate. But to be honest, I don't know what it's like for the super teams. I know for us members of the public, it's pretty much the honesty system. Like if you just decided you weren't going to get tested, no one's going to make you get tested. So I'm assuming they're all being tested as some kind of normal regimen. But yeah, they don't even want to test people now. They want you to just do the tests at home with those kits. So sorry to hear about G-Man. He'll be missed, RIP. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's just crazy, eh? Yeah, I'm still trying to kind of come to terms with it. It doesn't feel real. He's not been in a well way for a while, but yeah. Thank goodness Gazza is not an Ulster fan after the Stormers game last week. Yeah, how that wasn't given as a knock-on to the Stormers, I'm not sure. But anyway. Do you think the All Blacks will beat South Africa in South Africa? I think we're playing twice this year, right? In South Africa? How we go in the scrum, I think, will determine that. If we're not able to compete in that area, then it might be tough. But I mean, not many teams get 2 in a row over the All Blacks, so I would at least back the All Blacks to get 1. I don't know. It's kind of a hard place with the All Blacks right now. They don't seem to be. I don't know. You can see where a lot of teams are going, but the All Blacks are just kind of there. I don't know. We'll see. Second half can't be too far away. Gazza didn't talk about the ref and Timo. I don't think he watched the Drua game. Any games, because the Aussie games are all on at like 9:45 over here. And he's in bed by that time, pretty much. So, yeah, he wouldn't have seen it. By the way, Blues player watch. The other day, I went to see a movie with my missus. And I bumped into, I did not say hello to him, but Hoskins Satutu, the Blues and All Blacks number 8, was there outside the movie theatre eating a big tub of Ben and Jerry's ice cream. So, dietary restrictions obviously not too bad, because the other time I bumped into a Blues player, which was a couple of years ago, it was off a Tuanga Fussy, and he was eating hot chips. So, I don't know where that was like right before the World Cup as well. I don't know where the I don't know where the requirements are on players to not eat junk, but they're apparently not too brutally strict anyway. Right, second half is about to get underway, folks. South Africa will struggle this year in the Rugby Championship. The All Blacks can win a game with South Africa. The Box got bullied by the Wallabies, and they had to play in Australia twice. The question with the Box is, do they play some of their fringe players? Because if you remember the depth chart videos we did last year, the Box essentially have got a core squad that they more or less stick to, whereas the All Blacks are just like, you get a game, you get a game, you get a game. And then some of the teams were kind of in the middle. The Box maybe need to bring some other guys in, or maybe they're just kind of set with their World Cup squad as it is, but it doesn't have a lot of depth in some positions in terms of guys getting minutes. There's certainly guys who could step up, but there's nothing like playing international rugby to get the minutes into you, right? Signal looks like a kid that has turned up for a day with the Blues, says Alaran. He does look too young to be playing, doesn't he? Oh, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck is signing some jerseys for some kids. Good man. And yes, Sinead, mate, the depth chart videos, I think for the most part were last year. Maybe it started this year. They were certainly a long time ago. Maybe it was the start of this year. Signa, go man. Surely he'll be the first German to score a try if he can, because he was the first German to get a game, right? Team has just been smashed. Box have a development plan for the young guys. They stick to pretty firm. That's why Fussy didn't get much game time as everybody wanted. Yeah. What's his face? Not Rusty Erasmus. Jacques Nienaber. He was pretty explicit about the reasons that they didn't just chuck in and blood all the young guys last year, despite all the calls for it. So... But I seem to remember he hinted they would do it this year. So, yeah. But maybe not against the All Blacks. Interestingly, with the Wales games, I actually ran the stats for Wales's Six Nations campaign compared to last year. Remember, last year they won it, and this year they came like 5th. But in some areas, they're actually performing better than they did last year. They conceded a lot more tries and stuff last year than they did this year. But their attack was just a bit faltering. So I feel like if they can get that right, they're only a few tweaks away from maybe back to being the same old Wales we know. I don't know. Get it to Signa. Nope. Caleb Clark for the second that Alaran wants. No. Open mind. I'm gonna watch the Reds and Brumbies game, but I probably won't stream it. I'll get some stuff ready around the house while watching the game. I was tempted to stream that one instead of this one, but I don't think I've streamed the Blues yet this year, have I? So... Signa reminds me of an old teammate used to play in Mangere East or Otara Vipers. You would just hear that guy saying smash the Milky Bar Kid. Oh man, that's a blast from the past. Milky Bar Kid. Yeah, there's a resemblance. If the Mickey Bar kid grew up, he would look like Anton Segner, eh? Bro, that's crazy. All Blacks are frustrating because they play too many players. Yeah, Alaran, I think there's a balance of rotating and just sticking to your core guys. Like All Blacks in, what was it, 2003? They pretty much just had a core team, right? And then when Tana Umaga got injured in the first game or second game? We ended up buggered and the midfield was all over the shop. But then guys just chopping and changing every week probably doesn't help either. Streaming the one Blues game, I thought we would win for sure. Maybe that's part of it. I was pretty confident with this one. It's going to be another more try. Junaid says to watch up. No, actually the Maul defense is not bad. Oh no, it's still creaking forward. Eklund, and he's over. The Maul is a bit of a killer at the moment. Streaming the Bulls game later. I'm not even sure what time that one's on over here, mate. What time is it on in South Africa? Is it the third try we've got? Essentially either at a Maul or just after a Maul? KT rates Bryce Heem. To be honest, I wasn't that thrilled when the Blues signed Bryce Heem, but I've been pleasantly surprised. I agree. Good morning from Ireland, Dave. How's it going, Dave? You're waking up to my Blues doing, I don't know, I want to say too well, but as expected, they're supposed to be beating Moana Pasifika. Thankfully for my boys, they're actually getting the job done. Very pleasing. Wait, 2 Cents thinks he could take Bryce Heem in a race? Maybe my dad said that. He's got that one. Surely I didn't say that. I don't think I'm beating any professional athletes in any race. I can beat my son, but that's not saying much. I can beat him for now anyway. I actually chased him in the park today. We went to the park just around the back of our house, and he was kind of poking his tongue at me. So I chased him, and he buggered off, and then I stopped. I let him run, and then he poked his tongue at me again. So the second time, I didn't run him down, but I ran right behind him. So every time he looked over, there's this big looming 6'4" body of his dad chasing him, looking ominous. And yeah, he panicked and just fell flat on his face. Yeah, that's good. So to let him know, your old man's still not that old yet. Still got your number for the moment. John, mate, how's it going? Long time no see. Done with the gym for today. My dad said that, yeah, Dad is definitely not the biggest fan of Bryce Heem, but I think he's grown on him as well. And yeah, my pot belly is getting slowly bigger. Nice food, mate. I've been eating too many takeaways. I need to do what John does and get myself fit. To be fair, I don't have much takeaways, actually. He just fell. Honestly, he just fell. He fell. I didn't ankle tap him or anything. You seem like a dad who would trip up his kid when he gets cocky. No. No. I don't think so anyway. Oh, Moana had a really good maul going, but they've lost it forward. See it when I wear certain jerseys. Yeah, there's a few that are a bit too tight fitting, eh? I don't think it's a full-on pot just yet, but it's a dad belly anyway. And we're going to watch Munster and Leinster today. I'm not actually sure what time it's on. I will definitely end up watching it. Let me have a look. When are these fixtures on? URC fixtures. Oh, Munster Leinster's 6 o'clock in the morning. That's actually not too bad. It's not like it's freaking 2 o'clock in the morning or something stupid. Bulls game is at 1 in the morning. Yeah, I'll definitely be sleeping for that one. Whoa, what a scrum from the Moana guys. And Christie has just gotten them out of dodge. Unbelievable. Wow. That was hot in your mouth stuff. Big Will says, I've got a 9 and 11-year-old nephew and I show no mercy in backyard cricket. You're still undefeated. Yeah, I let my kids be competitive, but when they get too cocky, I have to bring them back down to earth. Definitely have to bring them back down to earth. Luke Romano's come on. He's going to play half an hour. That's good news because he was bloody good last game. I want to say last week, but it was this week. Classic blues play in the goal. That was Carlos Spencer Day's blues play, that was. Although if it had been proper classic blues, they would have kept the ball in hand and not kicked it. Great Nazi Puro East Coast team of the early 2000s are the catalyst for reinvigorating the rolling more. What? That reference is too abstract for mine. I can't even remember what I was doing back in those days. Bring him back down to earth by tripping them. I swear to God I didn't trip up my child. But I definitely put enough pressure on him that he forgot how to run. It's hard to run when you're going full tilt looking behind you. You're bound to trip over. Leon McDonald still looks kind of nervous, though, doesn't he? So hard seeing Luke Romano in a Blues jersey, Ben. Oh, maybe. I mean, you got Bryn Hall. That's kind of a swap. Moana playing at home at all this year. I think all of the matches in New Zealand this year, Jules. I think they plan to take some matches to the Pacific at some point. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh no, there's been a big clash there. Holy sugar. Alessio puts boot to ball. And Caleb Clark was trying to charge him down. How the hell are they going to referee this one? What's the decision here, folks? If you're the cause of your son's faceplant, then you tripped him. Oh well, then I mentally tripped him. There you go. I admit it. How do you referee this one? Nice Food says nothing wrong. Hanley says it's a red. What do we do here? I'm not used to seeing this one at all. Bergwell reckons it's going to be a red. Jules reckons it's a red. It looks worse every time I see it. As he's jumping up in the air to try and charge it down, he just ended up smacking the Moana Pasifika guy in the head with his knees. Alron says yellow now. Clark was in the air before the kick. Grant's genuine not sure. Yeah, like most of these things, you've seen it 20 times before. So you can kind of get a feeling for it, but this is unusual. Red card. Shit. Oh, man. Oh. Clark has eyes for the player, not for the ball. He lifts his knees to direct contact to the head, says Big Will. And no 2 tries for Caleb Clark, indeed. That's an unusual one. But Simon says can't go jumping into players like that. I suppose the onus is on you to look after whoever else on the field, and if you get too far airborne. But damn. You could see that happen 99 times and there wouldn't be a clash like that, but that one's a freak accident, eh? Anyway. Victoria comes back from the post office and it's a red card. Yes. Guys, don't maul it. It's a Blues back off the field, not a forward. Get it wide. It's a winger. Why are you... Okay, that's fine. Keep carrying it up the guts, that's fine. They're going to narrow that Blues defense down, maybe. Let's try time. Oh, is he short? He's short. Short. Oh, close. Technically contact to the head, so the red makes sense. Yeah. Just unusual, though. We don't usually see it like that. I still think Moana probably should have gone wide, but oh well, they wanted to go up the guts. Anyway, super unusual, Simon. Yeah. I still got heaps of time. It's only 53 on the clock. So it's a good test for the Blues to see how they go with the man down. I mean, this game was otherwise pretty much in the bag for them, right? So maybe this is good. Look at us in a bright spot. Didn't really make a double movement. Yeah, he didn't. Oh, but he's given Moana Pasifika a penalty, so maybe that kind of makes up for it. Holding on. That was a try. Maybe, yeah. The ref, I guess, is in the best spot there, but I don't know. Don't know. Oh, the TMO wasn't used. Maybe he was. I don't know, eh? There's been a few times when the TMO maybe could have had a look at stuff, but then if they are looking at it in the background and not stopping the game for it, I'm all for that. Although we don't know what's happening is the one thing. I would rather them do it in the background and me not know about it than them to stop the game and look at everything, to be fair. Right, Blues need another escape attempt here. Stowers with a big carry. Still 16 minutes left on the bloody red card. Oof. Oh, good offload. In the touch. Good Blues D. Keep holding, guys. Good test for the Blues defense, says Dave. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is money in the bank, by which I mean like good experience for them for later games in the season when they're up against like the Crusaders or somebody. Yeah. Flesh in here, man. Ask my dad. He'll speak to you all day about the bloody refs. Unconfirmed try definitely needed the TMO, Sammy. I like to think he looked at it in the back end. Yeah. I hope. It certainly needed a look. But as I said, I'm also not a fan of stopping to look at everything because I want them to keep the game going. Man, Segner doesn't look like a number 8 there, does he? He does look kind of slender. But I'm sure he's a proper unit. I don't know. That camera angle doesn't do him any favours. I mean, for the Blues, actually, having the TMO look at stuff when they're a man down will actually be helpful. Gives the guys a bit of a time to rest. My dad has an opinion on refs, really? Yeah, believe it or not. Believe it or not. He's been... Oh, no. It's going to be a 5-metre scrum. What are the Blues doing? Nobody seemed ready for that one. They threw the ball in and nobody was ready. And they're just scrambling to grab it. Far out. Yeah, my dad's been sent off at club games as a fan for being too loud about the refs, so yeah. Honestly, to be fair, I don't think if you're going to talk about the rugby game, the first thing you should say, if I can give my dad a little bit of grief behind his back to you guys, because I know he won't watch this. If you're going to talk about a game, I don't think the first thing you should be talking about is the refs. I don't want to hear that. I would rather hear about the plays, big tackles, who you think performing well, what you think's going right or wrong, rather than just the freaking ref. I don't think that's a good mentality to have, but there you go. That's just my whinge. A lot of rugby fans are also like that, to be honest. And it's not just rugby fans, it's sports fans in general. But yeah. You know, you guys know the quote from AI, Allen Iverson, about practice? Practice? Talk about practice? You know, for me, it's like refs. I want to talk about refs, although I know refs do have an influence on the game. I'd still rather talk about the game. As a person, Jay, trying to get into Super Rugby this year, who are the best players? You're mostly looking at All Blacks and Wallabies. Guys like Richie Moana for the Crusaders, Will Jordan. For the Blues, it's guys like the Ioane brothers. The Chiefs have got a bunch, like Sam Cane, Artie Savia at the Hurricanes, like a bunch of All Blacks guys. Similar story in Australia with Wallabies. Blues are hanging on for grim death. We haven't conceded any points yet. We're 7 minutes into the red. One of the Bush players just got sent off. Yeah, that's fair. Caleb Clark's been having a cracking season. Extra man and kick the ball away from 5 meters. Poor decision. I am a big fan of keeping the ball in hand when you have the extra man, because there's space somewhere, especially if it's a winger that's off. It's probably out wide. Yeah. Warren Whiteley was another 8 that just looks slender. Yeah, I suppose it can be deceptive. Yeah, Warren Whiteley was a tackling machine, but he never looked like a proper big unit. Like, you compare the look of him to like a Dwayne Vermeulen, like different players. Oh, they knocked it on. The ref brought the whistle to his lips but didn't blow it and says the knock was backwards. Okay. Now they've knocked it on. Oh, thank goodness. The clock's still ticking. Oh, but there was penalty advantage. Bugger. Okay. So much territory and no reward, Jules. Yeah. The Blues better be careful, though. If they give away too many penalties, they're going to end up with 13 guys on the field. We've still got just over 11 minutes with this bloody red card. It's all Moana Pasifika. Alright, let's help out Jay for Super Rugby. Who are the best players? Who's the best player on the Blues? Let's go. Blues. Who would I say? Best player on the Blues is Dalton Papali'i. There we go. They finally got the try. Bodie, says Alaran. Bowden Barrett. That's a good call when he's not concussed. Caleb Clark this season. Tilly has been in good form too. Alright, what about Chiefs? Who's the best player for the Chiefs? Battle of Auckland, Hank. It kind of is. Who's the Chiefs' best player? Let me think about that. Oh, probably Peter Gus Sowakula at the moment. But yeah, there's also Sam and Brody, like Alaran says too. Oh, they're going to check this one with the TMO. It looks like Moana Pasifika scored a try, but it's been TMO'd. All right, who's next? Hurricanes. I think I'm going to go Artie Savia as probably the best player for the Hurricanes. I don't know if there's a lot of debate with that one. I think he's pretty good, isn't he? Oh, Nankivell's also pretty good for the Chiefs, like Ben says. He's been in good form. Ooh, no. Obstruction. Anyone else for the Canes? I mean, maybe Geordie Barrett is probably the other one. Yeah. Like Junaid says. Okay. Crusaders, you got lots to pick from. Probably Will Jordan at the moment in terms of pure impact. Who else? You got Pablo Matera. You got loads at the Crusaders, man. You could pick from heaps. My clock is at 61:47. It's stopped at the moment. It's here to say who's not good in the Crusaders. Yeah, pretty much. You got Sam Whitelock. You got Scott Barrett. They got All Blacks all over the shop. And then the Highlanders, you're looking at Aaron Smith. If you're looking for a kind of up-and-coming guy, Folau Fakatava, 2 halfbacks. Who else at the Highlanders? Who else at the Highlanders? Who else at the Highlanders? Oh, maybe Shannon Frizzell. He's been in alright form in terms of forwards. Yeah, clock Victoria is at 62:30 right about now. Mitch Hunt's been pretty good, yeah, for sure. And then Moana Pasifika, I reckon Stowers, the number 8, has been a proper unit this season. Alright, that's New Zealand teams. I'm not having any debate about Stowers. I'm taking him as the guy. Aussie teams. So Queensland, best player. You're looking at guys like James O'Connor, Tate McDermott, the 9-10 combo, or 10-9 combo. Harry Wilson's been in good form, but probably maybe Taniela Tupou in terms of absolute units. Anyone else? So we drop names galore. Anyone else for the Reds? The Reds are pretty stacked, to be honest, as well. They got a bunch of Wallabies and then fringe Wallabies. Jock and haircuts is the other one, yeah. Who else have we got in Australia? New South Wales. I mean, Hooper was back last night. Michael Hooper's a guy to look out for sure. Wallabies captain, he's pretty obvious. Who else have the Waratahs got that's been in really good form? A player to watch out for. Oh, man. The Blues front rowers are almost trying to do something amazing. Oh, Seru Uru, the big Fijian. Yeah, he's good for Queensland. Who else am I thinking about for the Tars? I mean, Will Harris has been in really good form, the number 8. Gordon, the halfback, was in good form until he got injured. Eze Parise is a guy to watch out for in the midfield. He beats defenders for fun. He's a big old unit in the midfield. Powerful. How old is Hooper? I think he's in his late 20s. The Tars have got Angus Bell. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good prop. Who else have we got? Brumbies. Who are the best players from the Brumbies? Tom Banks fractured his face, even though he was in good form. Tom Wright, the winger, is a guy to watch out for. He's been in really good form. Junaid says to watch up, as we've got 50 minutes left on the 50 seconds left on the clock. Oh, the Blues have gotten a maul try during the red. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow, Eklund gets the hat trick. That's brutal for Moana Pasifika. It's almost like 14 points with their disallowed try. And then this one. Anyone else for the Brumbies? Alan Alatoa is pretty good. Guy to watch out for if you're interested in props. The Rebels. Who's got a pick for the Rebels? Who's a player to watch out for if you're watching the Rebels? I mean, probably Andrew Callaway. Maybe Reece Hodge. Michael Hooper, still pretty young. Seems like he's been playing rugby since he was a baby, pretty much. Birdie Man, yeah, very good. And you're right, we had a wee toast to the G-Man earlier, thanks to Big Will. And yeah, we certainly feel for his family for sure. Oh, Cobus Elof, Starleo, you are right. Proper bit of fun player for a prop. Rebels. We're almost done. How many teams have we got left? The Force. Jules mentioned Kane Kateka. He's good. My favourite, Fergus Lee Warner, even if he's leaving at the end of the season. Matt Tuamua's been in kind of crap form, but yeah, he's got to watch out for. And then, Valtini, yeah, Jules, you're right, for sure. Rob Valtini is a proper unit of a man as well. And then for the Drew, I like Habosi, the winger. Ravovo in the midfield. That's backs that I'm interested in. I mean, Dolakoto's been pretty good in the front row. Oh, Mataele, Junaid, that's a great call. If you want a guy to watch for the Force right now, it's Manasa Mataele in terms of backs. He's been unbelievable. So I hope that's probably a really, really long answer to your very basic question. Apologies for going overboard, but we just dropped a bunch of names. If you're wanting to look out for some players in Super Rugby, if you don't usually watch the competition. Right. Oh, I haven't done the score. Yeah, 41-16. Still 13 minutes to go. And 4 minutes on the red card. Pretty much wrapped up for the Blues, Sammy. Yeah, the Blues shouldn't lose it from here, really. Worst, they'd be losing the bonus point, I guess. Look forward. Okay, we'll let it go. It's just not been their night, eh? Moana Pasifika. They had absolutely all that momentum, but no, it seems to have gone at the moment. Bolly, mate, how's it going? If only there was a weekly video you could do where you select the best players of the week, something like a team of the week. I know. If only. But, oh yeah, Jordy Pataya for sure. Grant, it's a good call. As brutal as this sounds, Junaid, I mean, my video from yesterday about the 2 games that were played got 554 views. That's what I used to get for Mitre 10 Cup. The Super Rugby views just aren't there right now. I don't know what's going on. But maybe my content's just becoming worse than it used to be, but I don't know. Team of the Weeks, I could half-ass them, but I usually put a lot of work in them, eh? And unfortunately, at the moment, Super Rugby just ain't getting the love. So I'll admit I'm slightly neglecting it. No South African teams, nice food is probably a big part of that. probably a big part of that. Yeah, well, it's the same content I've been doing for years. But, yeah, the new format of Super Rugby is not kind, at least on my viewership. I think it's because, there's quite a lot of South African fans, that's for sure. Oh, that's not gone out. Blues have let them off the hook there. Yeah, South Africa's a big viewer base, but not like... I could go back and look at the old analytics of the old videos, but I don't think it was like... I don't know, like 3/4 of the channel kind of thing, you know what I mean? Anyway, Super Rugby used to attract more attention, at least. But the highlights for Super Rugby still seem to be getting a lot of views, so I'm not quite sure what the deal is. One minute to go on the red, and then the Blues are back to 15. We'll be interested to check the analytics, Simon. It's interesting, Simon, because it changes throughout the year depending on what games are on. Like when it's the Six Nations time, my viewers are predominantly from Europe. And then obviously when it's like Rugby Championship time, it's New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, always. But yeah, it definitely fluctuates. I think lifetime, Australia and New Zealand are about the same as South Africa on its own. Oh, he's dropped it. Moana Pasifika could have had a try there. Someone said that the scoreline doesn't suggest how well they've been playing. Yeah, they've not been able to finish. So yeah, I think lifetime, once I looked it up, and South Africa was about the same as New Zealand and Australia put together in terms of views on this channel. Which comp peaks the audience? I think the Six Nations and the Rugby Championship are pretty similar. And it sometimes depends on which teams are doing well, eh? Like, I don't actually think the Six Nations this year did as well as last year, but part of that's because France did well. Do you know what I mean? Like, when France does well, the potential audience for this channel with French speakers is obviously a lot less. Do you know what I mean? Like if England was doing well, more English fans would be looking for rugby content on YouTube kind of thing. Like people like to hear people saying nice things about their teams, right? It's just human nature. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. I haven't done the crowd comparison because Super Rugby's not had full crowds yet, and Super Rugby's pretty bad in not announcing their crowds. But what I would like to do at the end of maybe the Super Rugby season is compare the URC, the Premiership, and the top 14. And did I say Super Rugby? Super Rugby, Premiership, URC. Yes, that's right, Mark. And just compare the competitions to see, I don't know, did any teams go winless? Like Zebra. Like, did the URC have the worst of the worst teams kind of thing? You know what I mean? What was like the average result? Was it, were the results in the Premiership closer than other leagues kind of thing? I think there could be some interesting info there. I don't think I'll be able to do it for attendance yet, not until COVID settles down a bit, because attendance has been too fluctuating, and we still need to wait to see if Super Rugby will announce attendance, because they stopped doing it when they were having the old format in recent years anyway. I used to teach English classes for sports majors. A lot of rugby players. Should have put them onto my channel for practice. Yeah, man, rugby terminology, right? According to the analytics, only 350 views from China. I wonder if YouTube... Yeah, Simon, I'm not actually sure how that works. Like, I would be surprised that YouTube can pick up any views from China, although there are a couple of spots in China that are not blocked, like in Shanghai. Is there one in Beijing? Is it like Shanghai, like the real CBD area, you can get unrestricted internet access? Certain places? I don't know. There shouldn't be any. But yeah, red card's over, like Ben says, and the Moana Pasifika boys didn't get any points, and they conceded a try. So, how big are the crowds in the MLR, James? They are usually a couple of thousand, I think. Yeah, they're not huge, but it's a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them play in stadiums which are appropriate to their size. Some of them, like the Dallas Jackals, play in a big retired baseball stadium, so it's kind of cavernous. But yeah, they get decent wee crowds. Kind of die-hard fans over there in the States, eh? Why did they stop announcing attendances, Fleshin? Because the attendances were going down. They didn't want people to know. They stopped announcing it. In Australia, you could still find out because it's like a legal requirement for stadiums to announce that. But South Africa was inconsistent and New Zealand was deliberately obscuring the numbers. Quite deliberately. So, yeah. When I say Super Rugby stopped announcing attendance, I'm talking from like 2017, 16, I can't remember, but they stopped announcing the attendances long before the competition ceased in its old format. This game had lots of promise, but it's pretty lopsided now, says Hanjo. Yeah, this game's pretty much in the bag for the Blues, so... Yeah, Junaid, they did say that they stopped announcing attendances because they didn't have the information. Like it was too hard to collect, but I call absolute bullshit on that. That's so full of crap. New Zealand rugby is pretty dubious in some regards. Like, I think they said it's down to the stadiums, and unless they give us the information, we don't know it. But it's like, bro, if it's a good crowd, you guys announce it, and if it's bad, you don't. Yeah, I hate that kind of, I don't know, two-faced nonsense. Okay, Simon's off in a meeting. All right, man. Catch you, Simon. No worries. Good to have you along. Crowd looks decent tonight, says Victoria. Yeah, they reckon around 10,000. And to be fair, I think I've said to be fair like a million times in this video, a lot of crowds around the world get 10,000 fans in, and they have 10,000 or 20,000 seaters, and it looks okay. But Eden Park seats 50, so it still looks like crap. Dalton's had a great game, James. Yeah, Dalton's everywhere. He's unfortunate that he plays in the same position as the All Blacks captain, because sometimes he outperforms him. Not exclusively. Sam Cane's very good as well. I think Dalton's less injury prone. Blues got one more crack at advantage. What do you do here? Dime, mate, I'm going to watch the Reds game, but I ain't going to stream it. I got some pottering around to do, because I'm going to see Gaza tomorrow. Going to see Gaza. They sold their house end of last year. Went from our old family home, 3-bedroom house, to a little 2-bedroom unit. You know, house with a garden, to a little unit with a little, or a flat, what you might call it. And the people that bought their house must have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and have renovated. Like, that house they sold is the house that I grew up in from when I was a young fella. From before I was born, my parents owned that house. So they've done nothing to it in almost 40 years. The people who bought it have ripped everything out of it and made it all modern. So there's an open home for it tomorrow because they're going to sell it. Obviously, they've flipped it. So I'm going to go have a look at the house, the house that I grew up in, and see what they've done to it. And then I'm going to go see Gaza for dinner. So that's the plan. Here we go. Blues are taking it quickly. Try time. AJ Lamb. Man, Blues are going good, aren't they? It's a bit lopsided. Yeah, well, Sinead, my parents are getting on, and the house, I mean, they've had the house for 40 years, and the house is not new, so it's got some problems and stuff, so they just wanted to get rid of it. Get a low maintenance little flat. Yep. Blues could finish 48. There goes Elleran's margin. This will be the final act of the game. House flippers, the bane of the house speculation market. I know, right? My nan just sold the family home too. Did the same thing. Moved into a little unit around the corner. Yeah, it makes sense, man. If you're in your 70s, why the hell do you want more rooms than you can handle? Get somewhere low maintenance. Right, what are we getting? 40... Yeah, 46. He's missed that one. Can't blame your parents for not renovating the house and selling it instead. I don't know how much my parents have in the bank, but I don't think they had the kind of money to do what these people did to it. Like, these people have been renovating it pretty much since the day they took ownership of it, and it's only just going on the market now. So we're talking, I don't know, like 3 months of solid just renovation, removing asbestos, rejigging the house. It's gone from a 1-bathroom, because proper old school 1-bathroom, to like a 3-bathroom. They've done shitloads of work on it. So yeah, I don't think my parents had the money to flip it themselves. So yeah. Anyway, Blues, man, 46-16. That's pretty tidy. That's more than I expected, to be honest. And the fact that they did that with a red card, I think that red card, apart from the fact that Caleb's going to be suspended, is good for them, because it'll give them some mental fortitude going into tough games that they've got coming up. So yeah, there we go. Alright, folks. What is that? My son just bought my mother-in-law's house and she's living with us now. Goodness gracious me. I don't know about that. But anyway, folks, you guys all take care of yourselves. I look forward to catching up with you all for another game at some point soon. I'll give Gaza my best from you all when I see him tomorrow at his place, and I get a free dinner, which I'm always happy to get. Anytime my parents invite me over for dinner, I'm not going to say no. But yeah, cheers Grant, Sinead, Big Will, Patrick, Elleran, John who popped in earlier, Sammy, Ben who's been hanging about, Simon who's been in for a bit, although he's already gone, Fleshin and Novmum and everybody, Starleo and everybody else. You guys take care of yourselves. Nice food takeaways. And I'll catch you guys again for another one. See ya.